The Laugh or Else radio show has been known to play some music and say some words that could be very well interpreted as inappropriate by some of the more sensitive and younger listeners out there in radio land. Fortunately for LOE Radio, WNUR-FM finds this type of talk, ideas, and media to be artistically and culturally significant for the greater good of mankind. We are only allowed to broadcast this type of entertainment between a very specific set of hours due to the current indecency tolerance of the faculty, which is, for some arbitrary reason, 11:30 p.m. to 6 a.m. rather than the official guidelines drawn up by the FCC regarding safe harbor for all of radio.
Yes, that's right, kids. This is the Laugh or Else radio show here on WNUR-FM, Evanston and Chicago. Yay! My name is Timur Radicek, your freeform community DJ, and I will be with you until about 2 a.m. this morning. And I'm usually joined in studio with guests, but one of my guests is running late. My co-pilot, actually, Jay Sal, the mixologist, he will be here eventually, but as of right now, I'm piloting this vessel solo. So I got a lot of stuff lined up for you this morning. A lot of stuff to cover in Chicago, a lot of world news. The circus known as Trump versus Clinton. We'll have to talk about a little bit of that later on as well. And sports. We got a whole lot of sports, Chicago stuff. The Olympics are happening right now. And underneath my little bit of chatter here, you'll hear some Black Sabbath. I am playing a little bit of rock this morning, so if that's not your thing, I apologize. Maybe I'll play some rap or some hip-hop later. But in the meantime, let's get to the Chicago stuff. As we like to do here at the Laugh or Else radio show, we follow the latest news on shootings in Chicago via the HeyJackass.com website. If you don't know what HeyJackass.com is, open up your browser right now and check it out. It gives you a very detailed statistics of what's been happening in the month, in the week, in the year, in the last 2 years. It's a great way to stay in touch with what's going on, even though it is a drastic issue here in Chicago with all the gun violence. But it doesn't stop there. Violence is, it's going to happen with guns, without guns, with tables, chairs, everything else. So there's a lot of violence that we need to talk about. But hey, well, now that I mentioned that, maybe things will get a lot nicer in here because Jay Sal, the mixologist, has arrived. We'll give him a chance to settle in. Oh, not yet. Try it now, Jay.
Alrighty, one more time.
Yeah, there you
2,
go.
1, check, 1, 2, 1, 2, check.
Right on, brother.
What's
Good to
going
see
on?
you.
Hey, I heard you, man. I'm pulling in, and I heard that I am running late, but I am here to deliver another fun show with you, Timur, and our listeners, rather.
Yeah.
What's up, Chicago?
I'm sure they're all hooting and hollering back at you, Jay.
All right, I know they are, man. I got to shout out to my boys working in Rosemont and to all my peeps out there, and on a beautiful August night, my friend.
Yeah, finally, a little bit of cool down.
Absolutely. It's going to have a couple days in there later on this week that it's going to be a little bit hot.
Yeah.
But it's not too bad. It goes right back down to being cool, man. And anytime that I don't have to worry about turning on the AC and running up that bill, man, I am a happy man.
Yeah, you and me both, man.
I'm telling you, brother. But yeah, a lot going on, man. We have, like you were saying about that nice circus that is Trump versus Hillary, man, and the lesser of two evils, if you want to call it that.
It's the election of the century.
That's right.
Sure.
We got that. We got your Cubs, man. 2 improbable comebacks this past week, man.
Yeah.
As we were leaving the air that Sunday, man, being down 6-0 and come back, and as they emptied the bullpen, man. That's why that team, I feel, in my hardest of hearts, will be going to the World Series, man.
I would like to see it.
As much as it pains me to say as a Sox fan.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're not doing anything this year.
At least root for somebody out of your city.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, come on now, man. Over 100 years, man, it's time for them to get it. We have speaking of circuses, we have the Rio Olympics, man, and all that fun,
dude.
corrupt.
already
that freak show that's going on, man. as they're running the Olympic torch down the streets of Brazil, the security has to stop people from preventing them to try to take the torch.
Yeah,
and they're shooting rubber bullets at these citizens down there, man. Unreal what's going on there in Brazil right now, man. It is horrible, man.
Apparently, it's the new thing to troll the Olympic torch holder.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
To try to knock him down and put the fire out.
And I did see the guy that was actually holding it was also in on it because he ended up stripping down to his bare to his underwear.
Yeah.
And at each cheek, I think it was translated to out, and then the president of Brazil, the prime minister, whoever it is, his name.
But
he had a message. He had a political message on his rear end.
Nice.
And yeah, so it's such a freak show, man. I mean, Americans, good old US of A has won a few medals, so that's a good thing. But
yeah, already.
Yeah, and also the show I got a chance to check out last night, guys. The Art of Rap show at Tinley Park,
which we
at
were
the
talking
Hollywood
about
Amphitheater.
last
Yes,
week.
sir.
Yeah.
What a show! What a night of good old classic hip hop. Tim, you were right around my age, young man, so you know about all the good stuff that came out in the golden '90s, the golden era of hip hop and rap.
Why don't you go over some of the artists who were there?
Oh, we had a bunch of artists to choose from. We had Melly Mel. We also had Grandmaster Flash. We had EPMD. Mobb Deep. You had Naughty by Nature. Public Enemy headlined it, and Ice-T, one of the producers who put it all together.
Oh, yeah, Ice-T. So he did perform.
He did perform. He was actually second to last, Public Enemy being the headliners. And he bought out Coco T. He bought out his little one, yeah. So, it was like, ladies, y'all ready to see Coco? And all the ladies, she's such a fashionista. They're like, yeah. And the guys were like, hell yeah, bring that girl out, man, and all of her thickness, man.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah. So it was a fun time, man. Nowhere near, actually, what I thought it would be as far as the capacity. It was not even a third full, my friend.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really low on the attendance side. I mean, we actually had lawn seats. And come to find out that the lawn was even closed off. They're like, we're going to be upgraded to the back part of the pavilion.
So you got better seats.
I got better seats. I got a better view. You saw some of my pics that I posted on social media. I'll be able to upload those to the LOERadio Facebook page.
Yeah.
And I got some video clips as well. Just overall a fun time, man. I mean, everybody's having a good time. People from different backgrounds, different incomes, different ages and eras, all coming together for this beautiful thing called music and art, and especially hip hop, man. As we were saying and stuff, we pretty much from the same era of hip hop. And next month, in about a month, my friend, Prophets of Rage.
I can't wait, man.
I'm telling Rage Against the Machine, Cypress Hill, and Public Enemy. Well, this will be Chuck D. Will this be my fourth time seeing them? It'll be my fourth time if we go to that show next month, my friend.
Excellent.
So yeah, a lot of stuff, man. A lot of good stuff going on, sir. So I made it. I'm here, man. Excuse my tardiness, Chicagoland, but I did. I'm here. I'm a trooper, man. Here for you guys.
All several minutes, Jay.
I know. As I was pulling in, I'm like, I'm coming, my friend.
Yeah. All right. Awesome that you're here, man. Other shows going on around the city tonight were Gwen Stefani in Tinley Park.
That's right. I have some friends that went down there with Eve, man. Eve making a rare appearance there and being her sidekick and doing those tracks that she's featured on. So good to see Gwen Stefani, man, well into her 40s, man, still looking fabulous, looking good. Actually, my friends that were watching the show had a chance to be up close to look like. They got some pretty good seats right down there in the pit. So it was, man, she's still doing her thing, rocking it out, man. Total hot MILF, total hot cougar.
Yeah, she just had a kid, right?
She just had a kid, I think.
With Gavin Rossdale.
Was it Gavin?
Yeah.
I know she's not with Free. They're not married anymore. I know that. She's with Blake Shelton. Is that it?
Oh,
the country boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's with him now and stuff, and he's her co-star on the
What's up with these celebrities, man? Can't they marry normal people like me and you?
Yeah, right.
Like I want a chance at some at some hot MILF.
The Voice, that's her guy on The Voice. And I guess he couldn't keep it in his pants, man. He was messing with the nanny or something, or with another girl. And then you got Ozzy Osbourne and stuff, and the daughter slut shaming the mistress, and the mistress wants to sue now. I was like, I may be a whore, but I'm not that kind of whore. So that's one thing. But yeah, man, you'd be surprised. I mean, come on, Eva Longoria's got cheated on, and all these girls, man.
I know it's
There was a saying, man. There's a saying that I heard once that made a lot of sense. show me the hottest girl that you've ever seen, and I'll show you the guy that's tired of sleeping with her.
Exactly.
Words to live by, man. Something to think about, man.
Yeah, and I mean, but it's
easy for us to say, dude.
Right.
I mean, really, man, come on.
Exactly, but when you're in that situation, you got a hot girl. That also brings problems too, man, because I dated some attractive girls.
Right.
And then, like, you go out with her to a bar or something, and then you go to the bathroom, come back, all of a sudden there's, like, 5 dudes trying to buy her drinks and stuff.
Well, you know what, man? Any good woman will say no and know who she's with, man. Remember who brought you to the dance?
Yeah, but
that's all I got to say about that. And if she's a trifling little hooker, then she was not somebody to bring home to mama. That's all I got to say about that. But no, I mean, like, all these girls, man. I mean, you had Halle Berry, one of the most beautiful girls in Hollywood, man. And then you had Eric Benet, which was her man, who admitted had a sex problem.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's that. So, it is. I mean, I don't know, man. Men are just weird, man. I mean, being a man and stuff, we're a rare breed, dude. We're such a rare breed.
That is true. Also, if you were interested in checking out the Ravinia Festival tomorrow, you could see Dolly Parton.
Yeah, working 9 to 5.
She gotta
what a way to make a living.
She gotta be in her 60s by now.
Yeah, she's still looking good though, man. I mean, cosmetic surgery and all that. She's a legend, man. Dollywood she has down there in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, come on. Everybody knows the movie 9 to 5, and what was the one that she did? The movie she did with Sly Stallone and stuff, where she tries to make him a country star from being a cab driver in New York.
What?
Yeah, what was it? Oh my God, I can't the name. And I'm such a nerd when it comes to the movies, dude.
I don't even know, dude.
Yeah, you got to look it up. Go to IMDb, man. Sylvester Stallone did this horrible. I know the movie
that must
just
have been
bombed.
Like early 80s.
It was mid 80s, actually. It was mid 80s.
Like
maybe even mid to late 80s.
When he was already in his action
No, he was
star?
already doing Rocky. He already did Rambo. I think he just did Cobra. So if you want to look it up, man, it's
Cobretti.
That's right, Marion Cobretti.
Yeah.
And, he did a movie with her where he tries to be a country star. And he went from being a New York cab driver that she molds him into being a country star.
So was that
romantic comedy?
Was that movie worse than the Clint Eastwood movie with the orangutan?
Oh, Every Which Way But Loose?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. 2 awful movies that could live in the past.
I'm telling you, man. Like if Stop or My Mom Will Shoot movie with...
yeah.
That one didn't do bad enough. No, that was Sly.
Yeah.
It's Stella Getty. Remember that?
Yeah, dude.
He's at a crime scene. He's like, stop or my mom will shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, Sly. And he's still doing this thing. God bless Sly Stallone, man.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of love for Apollo, man.
For the Creed movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He should have gotten the Oscar for that, man. Best Supporting Actor. Think about that for a character that he did 40 years ago, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine how cool that would have been, man, to be able to get an Oscar. He took home the Golden Globe, man, which is, I guess, the equivalent of getting, like, handshake underneath the table from a hot chick at a bar or something. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. A handshake. Well, in quotes.
In quotes, right? Which hand are we talking about, baby?
Well, Jay, we got to talk about some things that have been happening around Chicago this last week. I don't know if you heard about Paul O'Neill.
Paul O'Neill.
He's the latest victim to a police shooting.
I did not hear about that, but nothing surprises me anymore in this fair city. Or does this happen locally?
Yeah. This was on the northwest side, I want to say.
Oh, boy. And this was all caught on video, right?
Yeah, they got parts of the lapel cam and some dash cam footage.
Right. I did not hear about this particular story, sir, but I mean, I'm sure there's some interesting facts to come out of it.
There are, and there's actually a clip here, so we'll play that for you right now. This is coming from the Chicago Tribune. Videos of deadly cop shootings show procedural errors, confusion over shots. And I'm going to play the clip here.
Alrighty.
Assuming there's no commercials.
No, they're probably.
Chicago's police shot and killed Paul O'Neill in Chicago's South Shore neighborhood on July 28, 2016. The following videos from the fatal shooting were released by the Independent Police Review Authority on August 5th. Warning, the following video may contain graphic content and strong language.
Parental suggestion is advised.
An officer's body cam video shows a reportedly stolen Jaguar speeding off.
I did hear about
Going
this.
towards 7-4.
Oh, snap. Oh, damn.
Damn, dude.
Wow. Charlie! Shot! Fire by the police!
Wow, then he takes off on foot. Body cam from a second officer shows him also firing.
Oh, man.
Yeah, dude. It's the middle of of a street.
Right, in the middle of the day.
Get a car, get an ambulance.
Aren't they supposed? Wait. Isn't a cop's job when he shows up to a crime scene or to a crime, their very first primary objective is to secure the safety of the public?
Of course, that's the first thing you're supposed to do.
Don't light up a block like it's the 4th of July.
Yeah,
man.
that's what they're doing. I mean, he wasn't aiming for the cops. He was driving by them, right?
Yeah.
He was trying to get away. He was not trying to charge at them.
Yeah, but then the cop gets in your way. He stands in front of your car.
So he has to stop you somehow.
Right, but if you
don't know if he's armed.
Him,
I mean, at the same time, you don't know if he's armed. So I mean, shooting at. I always like take the action. You know, I'm an action movie fan, and we both are.
Yeah.
It's trying to like in my head and stuff. Every time I see like a shootout in a movie, is like, don't you shoot at the tires first?
Yeah, right.
Don't you want to immobilize the car?
No, I think in today's world, man, police if they shoot you, you better die.
Right.
And
it's a Jaguar, bro. I mean, that's just a stolen car, right? That's all he was.
Yeah.
At this point, that's what he was accused of doing.
As he tried to drive around that cop, that's an assault.
Just lit him up. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Dash cam video shows the second officer firing.
Right. There's a Jaguar
trying to get around him. That's gangster, dude.
Yeah, dude. This reminds me of David Ayer's movie, End of Watch. Remember that?
Yeah.
With Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena.
Man, do they even drive, like, marked cars anymore?
Man.
Dash cam video from another police video.
It's like Grand Theft Auto here, bro. Look at this. Wait, what time did it say on that? 7:23
a.m.
PM.
Oh, is that PM?
That's PM. It's still light out.
This is...
Oh!
So he hits the cop
Slams
car
right into him.
head-on.
Of course he did.
Let's listen for more gunshots. The shooting of O'Neill is not shown on video, but body cam video from the first officer captured the aftermath. Oh, so they got out and chased him on foot.
Right. Yeah, we saw this where the video stopped earlier.
He runs into the backyard.
Go.
Just throw him over the front.
Right. Whoa.
Give me over.
How convenient that there's no...
Fuck, I can't.
Man, chasing people.
This is crazy stuff.
Just kick the damn fence open.
Right, it's a wooden fence, man. I would have been like Hot Fuzz and pushed my big ass right through it and stuff like that scene in Hot Fuzz. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. The guy does all the acrobatic flips.
Yeah.
My big ass would have been like, boom, dude.
Just barrel through it.
Barrel through the fence, dude. I ain't flipping over that.
Look, man, they're running around this neighborhood like...
And right at this point, we see the cops getting winded right now.
They already shot him like 6 times.
Right.
Well, plus 15 in the car. Oh, that's
He shot at him, according to this police officer.
He was unarmed.
461 emergency. Can we get EMS?
674 Charlie. Offender is in the yard. 7340. Male. Roll an ambulance for him.
Additional ambulance for a PO. Additional ambulance for an injured PO.
Oh, okay, so the guy did get hurt.
Not hit, but he's hurt.
He got shot, or did he hurt himself on pursuit?
And they shot at us too, right?
Yeah, they shot at us too, right?
Yes, that's a question he's asking.
Are you gonna take shots without knowing if you've been shot at?
Are you okay, bro?
I don't. Maybe there was so much shooting going on, they forgot where it was coming from.
Yeah. Well, when you let go 15 shots out of your Glock.
Right. So we're circling the premises.
Yeah, it was just one guy.
I don't see like faces in any windows, dude. Everybody's hiding.
Right. Well, if this is a type of neighborhood that already has trouble, then they know what to do.
Body cam video from second officer shows a dying O'Neill being handcuffed.
Yeah. That's his procedure, though, man.
Yeah, after you light somebody up, you put them in handcuffs.
Yeah, they actually do that. They have to do that. That's protocol.
You already put
Oh,
bullets
look
in
at
this
that,
guy.
man. That shirt's wet behind. Look at that, man.
He's
That's
dead, look.
Yeah. Well, these shot that individual O'Neal, man. The back of his gray shirt is soaked.
It's all red.
What does he have on? Is that a vest?
It looks
Like a bulletproof vest. It's a backpack. So I mean, if he's a career criminal, those are all his tools, right? That's what he does, right?
Yeah.
That's some scary stuff, Timmer. That's crazy, man.
You shot too? Huh? You shoot? Yeah. You?
And they shot at us too, right?
One.
Yeah, of course they did.
I shot at the car.
So why else would you shoot? So that's that, man. Another complicated issue with Chicago police.
Right.
I don't know where it's gonna end, but this is gonna be probably another instance where people get upset and start taking it out on police.
Yeah, but I mean, this wasn't just some innocent person. I mean, this guy did steal a car. They had the argument that he did, try to run down the cop. I mean, then again, the cop placed himself in front of him. So you can look at it at both sides of the equation, Tim.
So videos from the fatal shooting of Paul O'Neal by Chicago police show a succession of apparent procedural errors, including police firing at a fleeing vehicle with other officers in harm's way, and an admission by the officer who believed he fired the fatal shot that he had no idea whether the 18-year-old was armed. So they were lighting him up before they knew he had a gun.
Right.
And all this over a stolen car. Comments from the officer caught on the video indicate he may have erroneously thought O'Neal had fired on him from a stolen car barreling in his direction. In fact, those shots were fired in the officer's direction by other police.
Yeah. Well, the way he asked it, he's like, he shot at us too, right? Kind of like saying, like, leaving himself open to,
it wasn't you that shot at me.
Right. No, it wasn't me, man. Even though, same kind of bullets, were shooting at us.
O'Neal, who was unarmed, died of a single gunshot wound to the back.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, activists disrupted an afternoon news conference. So let's see what this leads us to.
Okay.
We are dissatisfied, the people said.
Impossible. It is impossible. The police out here acting reckless. They're reckless.
There's no
when you see that video,
correct response
when
to
you
what's
see
going
that
on.
video
No
of the officer getting out the passenger seat, withdrawing his service weapon, he instantly got out and started shooting. He instantly got out that car and started shooting Paul O'Neal.
That's a threat, though. I mean, like, what are you gonna do? What is the
He's
cop
coming at you with a speeding car.
Yeah,
and he's charging in your direction.
Putting your hand out with the stop signal isn't working. What are you gonna do?
That's not gonna work. You're gonna shoot at him. That's what you do. And this is gonna happen regardless of what's going on in the overuse of excessive force on the cops in the news lately. That's gonna happen regardless, Tim. It is.
The video captures at least 15 shots being fired in about 5 seconds as the Jaguar passes.
15 for a Jaguar, man.
Yeah, the owner of that car don't want it back.
I doubt it.
So yeah, man, I don't know. But like I said, the only thing that I'm worried about now is like some retaliatory BS coming from like gang members and stuff, Well,
that's going to happen regardless, though. You know that.
Yeah,
but this isn't, again, I mean, this isn't somebody that was, the fact that you're in a speeding car and you're getting away, that can be a weapon in itself. That already is a reason.
Well, that's why they shot at him, because that car was being used as a weapon.
Of course. So, I mean, it's not like this guy was selling cigarettes on the side of the street, minding his own business. This wasn't just a routine traffic stop where the guy used an excessive amount of force to try to, get his point across. This guy was a fleeing criminal.
Yep.
I'm sorry to say this, and this might piss people off. I have to side on the side of the cops on this one, man.
You heard it. If you want to argue Jay's point, you can call the show. Area code 847-866-9687. Again, if you want to weigh in with your comments, the number to do so is area code 847-866-WNUR. With that, Jay, it was 50 years since MLK marched on the streets of the South Side here in Chicago for fair housing. We have an article from the Chicago Tribune.
Alrighty.
Crowds marked 50th anniversary of King's March for fair housing in Chicago. There's actually a video, so let's check that out and see where that takes us.
Dr. King came to Chicago 50 years ago. We had just
That's the Reverend
left Selma, Alabama.
Jesse Jackson.
Today is the anniversary, August 6th. We want racial justice. We want to live in peace as neighbors, brothers, and sisters.
Humans.
No one has the right to kill anybody. Blacks march, but not blacks alone.
Hands up!
Don't shoot.
Hands up!
Don't shoot. They don't get no peace.
If we don't get no justice!
They don't get no peace.
If we don't get no justice!
They don't get no peace.
Who's they?
We don't get no justice!
They don't get no peace.
Who's they?
Cops.
Where you?
That's I assume that's who they mean.
Was that Jake Arrieta?
I believe that is the beard.
What's he doing there?
I don't know. He just kind of decides to show up in a Martin Luther King story.
Yeah, that's weird.
He's like, hey, I threw 8 innings of shutout ball today.
Yeah, I'm back, man. I was sucking right before the All-Star break. Now I'm back, baby.
Oh, man, is he back. Ferocious this team is, but we'll talk about them in a little while.
Right. So, okay, then. I mean, Jesse Jackson, and according to what certain band members said in the show last night, the Minister Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam, and I don't know, man. Don't get me started on that, man.
That guy's in a world of somewhere else.
Right. I mean, a lot of the stuff that he does, he's a race baiter. I really feel that. I don't think he's the most influential, the most positive person to somebody to emulate.
No.
I mean, he single-handedly was the one responsible for shooting, Malcolm X, right? Malcolm X had, once he realized that the Nation of Islam, in his opinion, of course, was just a bunch of smoke and mirrors, right?
Yeah.
And he realized that the actually true religion was to love people of all colors. And he tried to get it from, at first it came out from a militant point of view, by any means necessary. Then it was more about peace, correct? Loving people from all backgrounds.
Right.
And that's not what they wanted, right?
As far as the movie goes, I'm not too in tune with
Never saw it?
No.
Spike Lee, man.
Yeah.
One of his best movies,
I've seen the movie, but I don't really know the history too well.
That's what was it, man. He was taking too much press. That's why they killed him. In front of his family, too, man. They talk about an assassination. He was assassinated by his own people.
So I think what the future needs, Jay, is stronger education.
Right.
These kids need a place to learn.
Yes.
And unfortunately, Chicago isn't going to be the place for them to have any sort of educational future because as of today, Chicago public schools are laying off more than 1,000 teachers and staff. Again, it's not bad enough that they closed 51 schools in the last 5 years. Now they're going to lay off 1,000 teachers.
This is horrible.
In an article from the Chicago Sun-Times, Chicago Public Schools on Friday sent layoff notices to 508 teachers, including 262 tenured teachers and another 521 support staff, although all teachers and staff will be able to reapply for positions within CPS, but just not teachers. You could probably be a janitor. CPS layoffs says the layoffs are part of the annual process in which principals set their school budgets. Some schools are closing positions due to declining enrollment, while other schools are increasing the number of positions. How could enrollment be decreasing? That's weird.
No, babies aren't stopped from being made.
Yeah, right. It's illegal to not put your kid in school at 5 years old.
You're not going to home teach them.
Yeah. The district says most of the teachers receiving layoff notices on Friday will be hired into open positions in other schools. In other words, they won't be teachers. They'll be aides somewhere else.
Well, as long as they're making some sort of income, right?
Yeah. All affected teachers are from district schools, not charter schools. Schools with the largest amount of total layoffs, including support staff, are Foreman College and Career Academy with 22, Kelly High School with 17, Steinman's Prep with 15, Gillistel Language Academy with 15, Bradwell School of Excellence, not so excellent anymore, Harlan Community Academy, Shores High School.
I know people from Shores and Steinmetz.
I went to Shores.
Hey.
Wells Community Academy with 12 and Adams Elementary with 11. Yeah. This long-ass article goes on. This latest round of layoffs came when Mayor Emanuel is seeking more tax hikes from Chicago's working families while he continues to ignore demands that he go after wealthy developers and others who enrich themselves at the public's expense. CTU spokeswoman Stephanie Gadlin said in a statement, if the city and board exhibited leadership by implementing progressive revenue strategies, such as declaring a TIF, or a TIF surplus, and reinstating a corporate head tax, these layoffs could have been avoided. Again, Emmanuel is at the helm of the destruction. Man, this guy's got to go.
Wasn't it Karen Lewis that was trying to argue that and wanted to make it more putting monies in schools and
and
taxing the big corporations that are in Rom's pocket,
it's
which
funny
have been.
that teachers' salaries aren't in your school budget. Like, isn't that supposed to be what your budget starts with?
Right.
Like,
right.
you got 50 employees, we need to pay them first. And then,
amongst everything else.
Right. And then we can itemize books and, coffee
all the
machines
other crap,
and whatever else. Dude, oh my God.
And pay raises and all that other crap.
I can't believe I was born into this madness. Like, just living around Chicago, you're infected by...
This is why we're losing more citizens, Tim.
Yeah.
We're losing more residents, man. The
citizens.
businesses, they're moving. Their people don't want to stay in Illinois, especially in Chicago. What's he talking about? 2 property tax hikes?
Yeah, dude.
In the city alone?
Yeah, and then
I'm glad I don't. You know what? I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm glad I don't live in the city of Chicago, man. I had the choice of doing that almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I moved to the suburbs.
Oh, we moved the hell out.
Right, and it's something that I regret and stuff, just being around the great city and everything the vibrant. But people can't afford to live in Chicago anymore, man. You can't afford to have a car in the city anymore.
Nope.
And you can't afford to actually even to make ends meet.
It's ridiculous, dude. And then
it's horrible.
What kind of future you gonna have with no schools and no teachers?
Right. And then as violent as the city is,
oh my God,
and
dude,
as much money as they want,
there's gonna be in like 20 years there'll be more gang members than there will be students in elementary.
Right, because these kids got to learn their education somewhere. If they're not learning it in the schools, they're learning it from who's going to be teaching your kids.
Yeah. You want your kid to learn fractions in school, not on the streets.
If I got 5 rocks in my pocket and I sell 3, what's that mean? What's that mean? You know what that means? You better have my money either way, punk, before I smoke you right now.
Yeah, that means you need to re-up soon.
Pay me, boy.
Pay this man.
Pay this
money.
man.
Finally, one more story before we go to break here. There is a gallery somewhere on, I want to say, the south side that is hosting a exhibit for Chicago gun violence. Now, before we play the video, we'll read a little bit of the article here. It says, Garland Martin Taylor cut off his hair in the spring. Chicago-based sculptor then used his black strands, feathers, and shell casings to make 300 bullets and attached them to guitar strings as a response to gun violence in his home city. Sculptural installation titled Plight, which refers to the exodus of black families fleeing from the violence of their neighborhoods, similar to what is currently happening on the south side of Chicago, is one of a 3-part gun violence-related exhibit called The Heat.
This Heat,
now at Weinberg Newton Gallery in Chicago. Flight, with a P, is comprised of 100 bullet casings stuffed with Taylor's own hair and 2 feathers. Why would you repeat that? So there is a short video here. We'll check it out from International Business Times. This is Newsweek's
I love IBT.
video.
A shooting spree in Chicago's South Side has injured 13 people. Of the victims was a 3-year-old child.
Oh, boy.
It is reported that the shooting was gang-related, and at this point in time, none of the injuries are life-threatening, as confirmed by Superintendent Gary McCarthy.
At about 10:15 p.m. last night, 13 people, including a 3-year-old, were injured.
He's not the superintendent anymore now, is he?
Cornell Square Park, in the back of the Yards neighborhood. At this
Back of the
time, all
Yards?
victims have received medical attention at area hospitals, and all the injuries are non-life-threatening.
No arrests have been made, as a witness described a terrifying moment they heard the gunshots.
Man, I think it was like an AK, man. It was a lot of shots, man. Like boom, 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 boom. Man, like I say, like 9, 10 people got hit.
Sound like a
little kid
like
got
an
hit in the
airplane.
face, man. I don't know if he's still alive. I don't know what's his condition.
The injured were taken to nearby hospitals, as the victims ranged in ages of 15 to 41.
What does this have to do with the art exhibit?
Chicago has long suffered gun violence for years. In 2012, it was reported that it led to more than 500 murders. While the violence and issue of guns is a concerning topic for the city of Chicago, their murder rate for this year is down 22% from the previous year. Sally Turner, IB Times
Wow,
TV.
dude, down 22% from last year?
And it's still 500 murders.
Wow. Good gracious. Oh, man. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Right.
We got some world news for you on the other side of the break, but right now we're going to take a short music break, a couple of songs.
What we got? What you got playing? I know you got some, You got some Black Sabbath?
No, maybe some of that later in the show, but I got some
what you got, man?
Crowbot, if you've ever heard of them, Jay.
Crowbot?
This tune's called The Legend of the Spaceborne Killer.
Oh, sounds promising.
I think you'll dig it. I certainly do. This is WNUR-FM, Evanston, Chicago. My name is Tim Radicek. That is Jay Sell.
Yo.
We are the LOERadio Radio Show, broadcasting live from WNUR Studios, just footsteps away from glorious Lake Michigan. Stay tuned. We'll see you on the other side of the break, but right now, this is Crowbot. It's called The Legend of the Spaceborne Killer. Check it out, WNUR-FM, Evanston, Chicago.
Hey, this is Big J. Okerson. You're listening. It's hilarious. Hey, this is Big J. Okerson. You're listening to LOERadio. I don't know what the else is, but I'm looking at this guy, and it's probably involving butt stuff.
Music and say some words that could be very well interpreted as inappropriate by some of the more sensitive and younger listeners out there in Radio Land. Fortunately for LOE Radio, WNUR-FM finds this type of talk, ideas, and media to be artistically and culturally significant for the greater good of mankind. We are only allowed to broadcast this type of entertainment between a very specific set of hours due to the current indecency tolerance of the faculty, which is, for some arbitrary reason, 11:30 p.m. to 6 a.m., rather than the official guidelines drawn up by the FCC regarding safe harbor for all of radio.
We're back. This is WNUR-FM, Evanston and Chicago. My name is Timur Radicek, your freeform community DJ here at WNUR. And joining me in the studio is longtime friend, road dog, resident mixologist, local sports beat reporter, Jay Sell.
What's up, Timur?
What's happening, buddy?
Not much, brother. Another next hour is going to be fun-filled. I feel it.
Oh, yeah.
Love being on here. It's my second wind from yours too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
From doing our thing all day, brother. So, yeah, man, it's always good, man. Love being on with the listeners. Well, we do it, man. We do it for them.
Yeah, if you'd like to reach out and talk at us, you can do so at area code and phone number is 847-866-WNUR. Again, that number is area code 847-866-9687. It is going to be a little different on this side of the break. We got to talk about the circus known as Trump v. Clinton. Man, is this getting out of hand.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything out in the world that has polarized people as much as this election has. Like, pick your candidate, fine, but smashing every part of the opposition, including supporters, and I don't understand it. It's like, if you're not a Democrat, fine. But, like, I don't need to smash a Democrat because I'm not one. Or, like, the other way around. If you're a Republican, not all Republicans are racist. You know, not all Republicans are rich white dudes that own fleets and convoys and fly in private jets. It's not like that. People,
but they're the ones that get the most press, though. The ones that's how you get that press. You slander somebody.
That's the problem, dude. It's like the vocal majority is the actual minority of the group.
Always.
Just like all these radical Islamic fundamentalists, like, sure, there's a religion out there that preaches some kind of hate. I understand that. I don't even know what the deal is. Like, there's the jihad where people get nuts and they want to take you and everybody in your building with them when they kill themselves to go get their 72 virgins or whatever. But
right.
But that's the minority, man. You know, 1,000 of every 100,000 or every million. And that's the same with Republicans or Democrats. There's Looney Tunes on each side. But you don't condemn an entire group of people over the antics of a few. But that's what this election's doing.
That's what's winning him these votes, though. You know that.
What?
Yeah, the fact that he's naming a few. I mean, what do you say about, the reason he wants to build that wall and along the Mexican-United States borders? Because we have to stop all these raping Mexicans, and everybody that comes in here wants to rape and commit crimes.
Yeah, but see, he said that once on, like, one platform, but then everything else he said has been about not letting terrorists through that border, which is like the only open border. You know, you go to Canada, people aren't coming through Canada because they have a stricter policy of coming through their border to get into America.
But they have tunnels in Canada. And
Sure.
that's been proven, though.
Right.
And it's not like you don't know what's coming through that. I'm assuming drugs have been coming through that.
Man, drugs are flown in by the CIA. We all know that.
Here we go. Conspiracy theorist. Here we go.
No, there's that, you know, all of that back in Panama. That's all been proven is true.
Right. But I mean, either way, I mean, that's how he's, you know, disenfranchising, you know, the Latino vote.
So let's look at both sides for a second here,
Okay.
and let's focus on what's been highlighted the last week or so. The big deal out of Trump's camp is that he kicked a baby out of one of his...
A crying baby.
Yeah, one of his conferences. Or what do they call it? Town hall meetings or whatever.
Right. I love babies. Yeah, I gotta love babies.
I love babies too until you're trapped on an airplane with a screaming child or it's behind you in a movie theater crying.
Or I'm trying to get my freak on and the baby's crying.
Yeah,
Right. It's not even my baby.
It's not even born yet. So there's that. And then on the other side is Hillary. And what has she been in the news for in the last week?
For a lot of things, man.
Yeah, and that's the
Well,
trouble.
first and foremost, being the first female, to get the nomination for the, you know, as
she's officially gotten her nomination in the last 7 days or so.
Right.
It's also come out that there's been some sort of collusion.
Okay.
To remove Bernie Sanders from any chance of winning.
Right, which was total BS in itself.
Yeah, dude. If the entire Democratic National Party is just like, hey, we'll let
horrible,
him, we'll let him in there just because we don't want anybody else, but we're not going to make it winnable for him.
Right.
I wrote on Facebook earlier this week that if you just now realize that half of your entire political process is corrupt, you should be outraged and in the streets with pickets and...
Yet he still endorsed her.
Yeah, well, I mean, what is he going to do? He, other than admitting that the game is rigged...
Right. He basically pulled a... He pulled a Kevin Durant after losing to Golden State. So, you know what? I really don't want to join him, but I kind of want to win.
Yeah.
So it kind of sets him up to be able to get support from her if she ever decides to nominate him, if he's hopefully not too old enough, and actually we can feel the burn in 4 years.
Okay, so we discovered that the collusion was happening based on some leaks from Julian Assange and the WikiLeaks camp.
Right.
And I don't know about Assange. I'm not too... sure whether or not he's on our side or he's a plant of some kind, you know? Like if he's just like an asset to one of the information agencies, you know? Like they're like, hey, you just play the role of some guy and we'll give you this information to leak every now and again. Because a lot of stuff that he leaks has already been known. Like if you didn't know that the DNC was kind of colluding against Bernie before all these announcements were made, like you weren't paying attention because all that came out with the last two town hall meetings when they were still vying for votes in certain states because they canceled 2 of the last states and they just declared Hillary the winner.
Right.
So there's that.
So the super delegates didn't mean jack squat.
Man, and that's the super delegates. Who trumps a super delegate?
Right.
The Joker delegates? I don't know, man. It's getting out of control. So, Trump says he didn't kick the baby out of the campaign rally, even though there's video.
He said he did. Yeah,
right.
I heard this soundbite.
Well, he didn't say, take that baby and throw it out in the dumpster.
No, he said, no, get it out of here, he said. No, those were exact words.
The press came out with the headline, Trump throws baby out of arena. So dishonest. Where am I reading this from? The Washington Post. They've been, they released an article earlier this week about America giving Iran $400 million.
Right, to free some American hostages.
Right. Since when do we just hand out cash to other countries for
we
things?
Do not negotiate with terrorists.
So you'd think until they need $400 million for who are these?
But who was this person that first came out and said this? Oliver North.
But who were the people that were captured? Like, were they anybody important? Like, were they politicians?
They had to be to get 400. It's supposedly to get 400 million of taxpayers' dollars.
I'm gonna go out.
Then again, who is Oliver North?
Who is Ollie North?
Yeah, who is Oliver North? I know who he is. I mean, it's a rhetorical question, but
yeah, he's the guy that's pretty much single-handedly to blame for all of that in Panama with the CIA drug trades.
Of course he is. So I mean, credibility is everything, right? That's how OJ got off, right? Who's Mark Furman? He's a racist. I'm supposed to listen to a racist?
Yeah.
Racist telling me that I'm a killer?
Did you see that D.L. Hewley thing on
What's that?
Fox when he came on after Mark Furman?
No, I didn't see it.
He's D.L. Hewley's like
he's a smart brother, man.
He's a liberal.
Yeah,
and then
he's a smart dude. He's ruffled some feathers.
He agrees to go on Fox on Kelly, what's her name? Kelly Morgan.
Okay.
And just before they have him on, they have Mark Furman and all his racist glory on there. So that's already already burning up DL.
And then what does he come out and say?
Oh man, you didn't see it? I'll play it.
I hope you play it. I do want to hear that. I like when he said, he's like, how are you going to start saying that Serena Williams looks like a man, and then you guys are accepting Caitlyn Jenner? He's like, if I see Bruce Jenner, I'm going to want to fight him.
Yeah, right. All right, so they had this little back and forth.
So then you let the evidence play out.
Here's my problem. No matter, it is my belief that no matter what happens, no matter what we see, the cops are given a presumption of innocence. If that same tape showed a suspect doing something, that will be all the prosecution.
He's talking about the guy that was handcuffed and shot
right here. But a cop
in
gets a
New Orleans.
Of innocence that is, no matter what they see, we can see somebody getting shot to death, but we don't know what happened before. We don't know what happened after. I know this, that in a state, in both these states, a lot of men in Louisiana, 50 or 47% of people carry guns. Men carry guns. So men having guns on them can't be that unusual. Why wasn't the first question, rather than assuming, do you have a permit for that? Mm-hmm. Those are states that you can carry a gun.
But you're making assumptions because we don't know what happened.
No.
What we have right now is her testimonial, which doesn't capture the actual event. Do we know whether
I hate this woman with a passion.
We know this. We know he had a permit to carry a gun.
But that doesn't answer any of the questions.
That absolutely answers the question.
If he pulled the firearm on the officer, if he didn't disclose it, if the officer felt threatened.
Why on earth would you... Here's what we do know.
That smug look on her face, dude, just needs to be punched off.
They tell you exactly how to act when a police officer...
That doesn't mean he didn't threaten the officer.
You're willing to give them a presumption of innocence.
I'm not giving them presumption... Well, the law gives them the presumption of innocence.
No, their badge gives them a presumption.
We don't know the facts. I mean, we saw this happen with Michael Brown of Ferguson.
He's getting upset.
We have a police officer's word and the grand jury's word.
No, we have the Department of Justice's word.
The Department of Justice shut down Ferguson. Ferguson had to be shut down because it was so corrupt.
The Department of Justice found that the police there had endemic racism. They found that.
Right.
But they also exonerated Officer Darren Wilson.
That's not a...
And they found Hands Up, Don't Shoot was a lie.
Let me ask you something.
And that Michael Brown was the aggressor.
Wow. Here's what I'll say.
Don't wow me.
Don't tell me not to wow you. I can say wow if I want to, and I'll tell you this.
That is what they found,
I'll tell you this. They found systemic racism, right? Mm-hmm. So it's unbelievable. They also found systemic racism. And we know that Darren Wilson left the department because it was so racist it had to be disbanded, and he went to Ferguson, another department that is rife with racism.
So that makes him a racist.
Absolutely. You know what? I have no problem.
Michael Brown grabbed that officer's gun and tried to shoot him in his patrol car.
That is. No one has proven that.
No, that's true.
Eric Holder's DOJ concluded.
And Eric Holder's DOJ concluded that department was so rife with
that's
with
a dodge.
corruption.
I already I already conceded that, DL. We're talking about Michael Brown and the lie
let's be clear.
of Hands Up, Don't Shoot.
I don't dodge at all. I'm here in Fox News.
Then let's stay on it. Then let's stay on Michael Brown.
We're talking about We're talking about I'm not talking. No, woman. I'm not trying to get out of bounds.
No, woman.
We're talking about. We were talking about.
How does anybody get a point across on Fox if they're just being shouted over?
Right.
That's man.
As they said on The Simpsons, Fox News, not racist, but number one with racists.
Yeah, right. So there's that. I mean, I don't know what direction this country's going to be in 2016 or 17, man. Like,
It's not getting any better anytime soon.
Do you honestly think that either one of the candidates are going to be any better for this country?
No,
because
I don't really have a problem with what Donald Trump is saying, with the exception of him riling up people. And he's basically, we know what he's doing. He's making the poor, uneducated, the minority, which are these rural blue county folks, get mad at minorities. That's what he's doing. That's the problem that I have. I have no doubt in my mind that he will come in with a business sense and savvy, Tim. He's been a businessman all his life. I have no problem with that. Do I think he's qualified for the job? Not necessarily. Do I think he doesn't have a chance to run for president? Of course not. He has just as much a chance as Barack Obama did, because Barack Obama had very little experience. So he should have. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is the things that he's been saying that now you have people with the American flag. This is our country. This is our effing country, and get the F out and blah. That's what I have a problem with. He's turning into us versus them type of mentality.
It could be
as
true.
Opposed to, when again, I bring him up again because he sounded like such a fresh voice, which was Bernie Sanders. You know what he said? He said, we're going to do this together. I can't do this alone. We're going to do this. We're going to go in there. We're going to shake up the 1%. We're going to tax those people that have no problem paying these income taxes to get taxed higher. We're going to help out other people. I don't necessarily agree with everything that Bernie Sanders said, because what he wanted to do was start handing out and make sure that everybody that's on welfare and assistance say, hey, no problem, keep receiving assistance. No, I think there needs to be that fine line. Now, Hillary, on the other point, I mean, it was still with the Benghazi tapes, man. We don't know. I mean, people think she's dishonest. They don't trust her. So what, does Trump win by default? Does he go in with a business savvy, but he still has people that are he's ticking people off?
No,
man.
but that's the American conundrum, though. Is
and he's a male chauvinist, and he's also been on what's the one soundbite in the video bite of him mocking a disabled person?
Okay, so you got one guy who's racist and insensitive, and then the other side is a pathological liar,
right,
with military money
corruption.
ties.
Yeah, okay.
So. I mean, but that's it. You've got nothing else. There's nothing else to vote for.
There's the independent guy.
Who?
The third guy. The third person.
We can't even name his name because we don't know who the hell he is.
We really don't know who he is. But now he's looking like a pretty, hoping option. But I kind of wish that Bernie would have ran as an independent.
History has shown the independent party vote gets nothing.
Right.
Nowhere.
Oh, I know
because
that.
there's no party backing.
Consolation prize. I know that.
There absolutely has to be a third and fourth parties in this country because the two options we have are absolute filth and rubbish. And they They produce garbage, and they push garbage to the top to where we can all pick from it.
Well, it seems like Hillary keeps getting these celebrity endorsements and people speaking up for her because she's the first woman to actually be able to hold that, office of presidency if she does win.
Just because she's a woman, she can be as evil.
I don't disagree with that. But again, at the same time, you got this guy here who just is really he's just saying the wrong things and just, and a lot of things that he's saying it's all hearsay. You know what I mean? Without the research, he's just saying what people want to hear. It's us versus them mentality. That's what I have a problem with, man.
An unprecedented number of people want to hear that and are like...
Right. It's just, again, his campaign manager quit on him, and... they're coming in saying that he doesn't, and just a lot of people are flat out saying he doesn't have the experience to run this country, man.
Yeah,
that's we're in tough times right now, man.
I mean, but neither did
Let's move to Mexico. Come on, Timmer. I got somewhere we can go, man.
Ronald Reagan was an actor, but somehow he made to be president.
Right. And he also started losing his mind, which has been proven in the middle of his presidency. He started going to dementia in the middle of his presidency. That's been proven.
Yeah, which made it easier for his handlers to be like, just go out there and say what I told you to say.
Right. If you can remember what I told you to say.
Yeah.
He's like, we know one thing though, right, Tim? How Reagan liked his steaks. Well, let's move to Mexico, Tim. Come on now, man. I offered like 3 times already.
We gotta move somewhere, dude.
Let's go to Mexico, man. I got somewhere we can be, dude.
This country is falling apart from within, and there's some sort of Zika outbreak in Florida, man.
Yeah, I know. It's bad enough that it's hitting these Olympic villages down there in Brazil and South America. It's reaching the States.
Yeah, I mean, but in Brazil, the water's like filthy and doesn't get
Yeah, they're saying do not even go in that water. So again, how many... You have Pele, which is the most recognizable Brazilian athlete of all time, and he's saying I'm too sick to even show up to the to the ceremony. That's telling you something. With all the corruption,
there's so many swimmers that are like, I ain't going there.
I wouldn't.
Forget it.
There's people that have dropped out of professional athletes that are not included in
half
stuff.
The NBA people that were supposed to go aren't going.
And now that they're being said that they're being what are they being held in safe hotels and with security up the wazoo.
Yeah.
And this is crazy, man. I've never seen such a fiasco and such a circus, and to see such an Olympic committee drop the ball. Why they picked a third world country with poverty, famine, and disease is beyond me. Yet, they didn't even give Chicago a chance.
No, man. Why? Well, because they were worried about gun violence.
I'd be worried about well, again, I mean, this is, corrupt Chicago where the politics rule, so who knows where that money would have really gone.
Yeah,
So let's say we had this boost with hundreds of millions of dollars to bring the Olympics here. Who's to say we're still going to have teachers laid off? We're still going to have that.
Absolutely.
Right. Now they're decriminalizing the possession of marijuana, anything above 10 grams.
Yeah, because there's nothing to do but get high in the city.
Right.
So your best source of free of entertainment without getting shot at is just
now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Seattle and Washington have had improvements in their economy since they legalized.
Oh
yes?
yeah, dude, they're bringing in like $10 million in tax monies every month or something.
So why we're not doing it here when this is one of the most broke states in the whole country? Is
because
beyond me.
There's a benefit to your leaders having broke people. They're easier to control and manipulate.
Right. The sheeple.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Right.
And unless people come to their door with, mobs of other people with pitchforks and flamethrowers,
right,
they're not going to do nothing to fix it.
Right.
And there's no intention to fix it. It's just going to get worse over time. Before you know it, cigarette tax will be like $82 a pack. It's going to be like, alcohol. They're going to push the age up another 5 years. You can't be 25.
Right.
It's ridiculous, dude.
It's going to have more people just wanting to steal cigarettes and want to get drunk a lot younger.
So we mentioned Florida may have some sort of Zika issue.
Right.
According to U.S. News, Florida officials go into damage control mode over Zika. Worried about Florida's all-important tourism industry, state officials are going into damage control mode over Zika. As I said, according to U.S. News, a view from Tamara Lush, Associated Press, Tampa, Florida.
Tamara?
Tamara?
I think Tamara.
Thank goodness it's the slow season in Florida. At least that's what officials and representatives of the state's multi-billion dollar tourism industry are thinking in the wake of the news that 16 people have been infected with Zika in small, trendy neighborhoods in Miami. The outbreak has sent another chill through the Sunshine State's all-important tourism industry just weeks after the Orlando nightclub massacre and the killing of a 2-year-old boy by an alligator nearby at Walt Disney World. Florida officials have gone into damage control mode, with Governor Rick Scott insisting we have a safe state during a tour of the Zika hot zone.
Of course he's saying that.
During a tour of the Zika hot zone.
Yeah.
Tourism is Florida's biggest industry. Visitors spent some $89 billion here last year. Wow, that's like as much as the NFL brought in. And Disney is America's #1 tourist attraction.
Orlando, baby.
Federal health officials have warned pregnant women to avoid Wynwood, I guess that's the name of the town in Florida, because the virus can cause severe birth defects, including stunted heads. Including stunted heads?
That's like the end of Beetlejuice, I think. That's what that is.
Yeah. He switches the number with him because he's got
this might be a good look for me.
Yeah. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, don't stop it. For the most part, theme park visitors should be fine, said North Carolina State University entomologist Michael Reiskind, because the mosquito species most likely to spread the disease is less prevalent in Orlando, and the theme parks are likely to spend heavily on insect control. Kathy Torian, a spokeswoman for Visit Florida, the state's tourism arm, said anecdotally there were minimal cancellations in the wake because nobody knows about it. This is the first I'm hearing about it.
Right.
In 2015, 106.3 million people visited Florida.
I was one of them.
Associated Press writers, I feel very safe in Orlando. The recent tragedies, and even the Zika concerns have not deterred me in any way from enjoying my vacation, said a vacationing Tam Fuller of Atlanta. I keep my kids close to me at all times and stay aware of my surroundings so I never feel unsafe. But Zika is something you cannot see.
That's right. And that was all brought to you. What'd you call her? Tamara Lush?
Tamara Lush.
That sounds like you, Tim. He's like, today sober, Tamara Lush, baby.
Tamara Lush.
Tomorrow's Lush time, baby.
That's right. I'm going to have me a liquid Lush.
That's right. He's like, you just call me Tamara Lush. Today sober, Tamara Lush.
Yeah, so
it's not going to stop the tourism, man. Orlando. I'm going to be going to Orlando hopefully sometime for my Halloween Horror Nights visit, man. I love that place.
Really?
Now, do I want to go if I have the chance of getting sick, or anybody that I'm going with getting sick? Absolutely not. Nothing is worth the chance. I don't even want to go to Mexico right now because they have a Zika virus outbreak.
Man,
so anywhere south and everything. So even though it's right now, there's everything saying about Zika. The scary part is that that virus is still prominent down there, Tim. And you know what is going on right now in Brazil? This is their winter time. Just imagine when it's hot out and humid. That's scary.
Yeah, dude.
That's scary stuff. I've been to Orlando in the fall, in our fall, and it's humid as can be down there.
Yeah.
Man. I'm like, I was literally at night sweating my butt off. I'm like, how do you people live like this, man?
How is it that mosquitoes can survive in the heat when, like, we can't go outside when it's 105 out, you know?
Same way the cockroach can survive a nuclear outbreak, a Holocaust, man.
Yeah.
It's just is the power of the insect. That's all that's going to be left, man. Once we're all done, you know, if Trump incites World War III and we're all out of here, man, and it's basically end of times, all that's going to be left is the mosquitoes and the cockroaches, man.
In that instance, I believe you should be more worried about Clinton and World War III perspective.
Well, you don't think Trump was going to cause that? What did he say? He's like, he has 4 or 5 times in an interview. What's with the nuclear weapons? Why can't I use nuclear weapons? That's what he said. What's up with nuclear weapons?
Yeah, but being out, his first priority is to box the rest of the country out of America. Like, I think he's got his hands tied, and that.
Should have his mouth shut.
Yeah, unfortunately, his mouth will keep running as long as he's got money in his bank.
Yeah. And he's still going to have people listening to him. That's the scary part.
Yeah, I mean, but whatever candidate they put out there, they're going to have a following because these people are just diehard idiots from one. I'm a L, I'm a D, I'm a R, I'm a P. Get the hell out of here.
What is all that? LRDP? What is
that? Liberal, Democrat.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure where you were going with that. They're like, give me an A, give me a B. Thought you were going with that.
Rah, rah, shish boom ba.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to take another music break, Jay,
Yes,
and on
sir.
the other side, we'll do sports.
Sounds good, man.
So this is WNUR-FM, Evanston in Chicago. We are Tim Radicek and Jay Sell.
Yes.
Of LOERadio's radio show fame. You can check us out on the Facebook by going to the LOERadio's radio show fan page, or you can hit us up on the Twitter using the hashtag LOERadio. But in the meantime, I'm going to play some Metallica, because that's what I like to do.
You're a little Metallica, baby.
This is WNUR. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Hi, this is Ron Funch, and you're no, that's not my name. Use this whole thing. This is Ron Funches, and you're listening to Laughs or Else. I don't know what the or else is. I assume it's like crying.
The Laugh or Else radio show has been known to play some music and say some words that could be very well interpreted as inappropriate by some of the more sensitive and younger listeners out there in Radio Land. Fortunately for LOE Radio, WNUR-FM finds this type of talk, ideas, and media to be artistically and culturally significant for the greater good of mankind. We are only allowed to broadcast this type of entertainment between a very specific set of hours due to the current indecency tolerance of the faculty, which is, for some arbitrary reason, 11:30 p.m. to 6 a.m., rather than the official guidelines drawn up by the FCC regarding safe harbor for all of radio.
Throw your guns in the air.
Wave them like you just don't care.
Welcome back. It's the LOERadio's radio show here on WNUR-FM, Evanston and Chicago. I hope you enjoyed that break. We had a little bit of Metallica, as well as some Public Enemy and Biohazard featuring Onyx from
Judgment Night.
The Judgment Night.
I remember that
soundtrack.
movie, man. Emilio Estevez, Jeremy Piven.
Yeah.
You had Dennis Leary playing the hood.
He was the bad guy.
He was the bad guy. Steven Dorff, and the fourth one was Cuba Gooding Jr. I remember that.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack, bro.
It was
that was filmed in Chicago.
It was a good movie. Not so much in the theaters. It didn't get much in the box office.
I watched that on VHS.
I did too. I saw it like 2 years after it came out. But one of the most impressive things about the movie was the soundtrack. And there was a track on there that featured a collaboration from Tool as well as Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
And it somehow didn't make it on there. But there are demos floating around the internet that you can find. It's called Revolutionary.
Yeah.
Check check that out.
All the tracks had one rock or background act and then another hip-hop act.
Faith No More.
Right.
Who was it? It was Slayer and like House of Pain.
Right. I remember De La Soul and Teenage Fan Club.
Yeah.
Did a nice groovy little laid-back track. You played yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good tune.
That was funky stuff, yeah.
So go get you a copy of the Judgment Night soundtrack. It's a classic. Something we don't have too many collaborations like that anymore.
Well, we're gonna be listening to probably a rendition of it when we go see Prophets of Rage with Bring the Noise with Chuck D and Rage Against the Machine. Man, remember that Anthrax PE mashup back in the early '90s, my friend?
Oh man, I hope they like modernize it.
That's gonna be cool, man. Because I was watching the show last night, man. Chuck D can still bring it. How old did you say he was?
56.
56, and that brother can still bring it. He sounded great, having a live band with him, and I love Public Enemy, man, for everything that they stand for and as good as they were with the music. They were basically with the social consciousness and the dope beats. They were like Wu-Tang before Wu-Tang. Wouldn't you say, Tim?
I would agree with that. I mean, Wu-Tang was a little unique being from New York, but
Public Enemy is too.
Are they?
Yeah, they're from New Yorkers, man.
Oh.
Native New Yorkers.
Okay, so they could have a little bit of a similarity in their style. But it is time for us to move on to that segment of the show known as sports.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about, Jay.
A lot of stuff to talk about. We can talk about the Cubs and their miracle plays happening twice in the past week.
Yeah.
Being down 6 runs and coming back and winning the improbable game against the Marlins. Or emptying that bullpen, as we talked about, and still Joe Madden and his genius there pulling them out.
Yeah.
We could talk about the Sox and their futility and how bad they've been.
We could.
We could talk about that. Bears family night happened today. Their scrimmage there in front of the thousands, $20 tickets, man. So it was nice, budget friendly for all people that don't get a chance to go check out the Bears in person because of how pricey the games can be. So that was a fun night. Actually, it was an afternoon game. Actually, typically it's a night game.
Yeah.
Other stuff that's going on, but we have Olympics.
Wait, before you get into the Olympics,
yes, sir.
The biggest news I heard that came out of the Olympics was
what's that?
Was Giselle's walk.
Giselle Bundchen?
Yeah.
Is that Tom Brady's wife?
Yeah.
What about her walk?
Nothing. She just walked across some stage, and apparently people lost their minds over it.
Yeah, do we have footage? I got to see this, man. I love me some Giselle. I love her when she's doing her Victoria's Secret stuff. I got to see this, man. Not that I don't believe you, because I do, but I got to see me some Giselle Bundchen.
Is that her name?
Yeah, Giselle Bundchen.
Bundchen.
Yeah, Mrs. Tom Brady, man. Or actually, he should be Mr. Bundchen, right? He should be Mr. Giselle Bundchen, then.
Oh, maybe if I spelled her name right.
Not Fistel.
Fistel.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, that's not.
No, that is her. That's her walk.
Yeah, but there's an actual walk segment.
Giselle Bundchen opened.
I just want to see the walk.
During the weeks.
Yeah, well, but it's copyrighted footage, so it's going to be hard to find.
Here we go. You found one.
Yeah, but it's a video. Yeah, it's garbage.
So what? She's walking. Yeah, she looks
good.
That's it.
Man. She's
beautiful
just walking.
dress.
That's it.
And the internet lost her mind. Did she blow up the internet?
Well, not so much like Kardashian's ass picture. That was some sort of slave picture. Remember that?
Yeah, it was whatever, man.
Yeah.
Tired of that family, really, man. Been tired.
What made this so important to her is that it's her last walk across a catwalk.
Oh, she's retiring?
Yes.
Okay.
She won't be doing this anymore, but she is hot, man.
She's gorgeous, yeah. Man, Victoria's Secret model, man. That's all you got to say.
That dress was probably like $82,000.
Probably, man. So that's like about 6 villages worth right there, lives down in Brazil.
Yeah, because I was on Twitter last night, or what was it, the night before, when this happened, and it was like every tweet. I was like, what? I don't give a damn. So what? She's walking. Big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, but she's one of their most famous exports, you know that.
Yeah, but let me know when she's doing cartwheels when she's on fire, you know?
Right.
Like, it's not that big
or just cartwheels in that dress. Maybe going commando or something.
That'd be nice.
Right. So, Timmer and listening audience, Rio 2016 opened Friday as the first held in South America. The bid that won the International Olympic Committee's approval in 2009 over Chicago, if a little FYI there, was called Green Games for a Blue Planet. It promised a substantial event that would highlight Rio's natural assets and address long-standing environmental deficits. They promised to see the booming economy and political stability which had been lacking in that great country, Brazil. However, the anxiety has reached new levels there in Brazil, extending from venue and infrastructure completion to serious political, economic, and social turmoil. Brazil has been battered on almost every front. It is mired in a deep recession and is facing a shrinking economy for the second year in a row. The president, Dilma Rousseff, is facing impeachment. Her trial before the Senate will happen by the end of August. In a parallel investigation, prosecutors and federal police have levied corruption charges against leading political figures and the men at the helm of Brazil's largest construction companies, including those directly involved in Rio's Olympic projects.
Wait. So there's corruption in Brazil?
Yes.
No,
so
you don't say.
Yeah, so having it in a third world country that is impoverished, full of famish, and as bad as you can get, Tim, and listening audience, it is bad.
The crime there is unbelievable.
Horrible. Absolutely. The pickpocketing and that it's going on. So they've actually beefed up their security and have paid back wages, which they had owed these police and security personnel down there, and have hired thousands more because people they want the tourist money, so they're not feeling safe. So you actually have people walking around with machine guns, making sure that every single person is feeling safe, and they're mingling with street entertainers and your passerby, and all these people just wanting a glimpse at the Olympic athletes themselves.
Meanwhile, the pickpockets run around in little groups.
Right, and these hoodlum kids. There was a movie called City of God. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
That is a great movie about the slums of Brazil and the things that have happened in the 70s and 80s and how it became to be. So these guys are walking around. These are little gangsters, basically.
Man, and these kids are ruthless too. They'll run up on a passing.
Shoot you. Yeah.
They'll run up on a passing bus while they see you with your window open using your phone, and they'll just snatch the phone out of your hand.
Right, or they'll come in and stuff like 3-4 kids and stuff with guns and rob the whole bus blind, man.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, above all that, the Olympics are off and running, Tim. I have a medal count if you're interested, sir.
I'm interested.
The total team leaders by country goes, and this is just in no order. The USA has 5, Japan has 5, and China has 5.
And the USA won their golds in what events?
That is a good question, sir. Actually, I'm sorry. It is, yes. Gold, the leading in gold is Australia with 2, USA with 4, and USA. Excuse me. Let me start that over again. Australia has 2 gold medals. USA has 4 silver medals. And Japan has 4 bronze medals. So out of those medal counts, that's what they have. Now, I don't have that information for you yet. I do apologize, guys, what the sports that they have. But I can tell you that it's not even fair to the athletes that are participating and fulfilling a lifelong dream that all the negativity is actually coming from things that are beyond their control. I can tell you that right now. Very sad, sir. Do you have that information, Tim? I was a little ill-prepared. I apologize, aside from my tardiness. So
swimming, Connor Dwyer has a gold medal.
Now, this is in a pool, right, with chlorine in it, I hope.
Yeah.
All right.
Also swimming, women's butterfly.
That's also hopefully in a pool with chlorine in it?
Yes. And then cycling, we have a medal.
Now, that's hopefully with security surrounding the cyclist, because you know those kids will just take that cycling right up into his ass.
Oh, no, that is then tomorrow at 7:45 a.m. you can catch the women's floor exercise qualifications for the gymnast, the lady gymnast.
These girls have outstanding bodies, by the way.
Man, but a lot of them have shoulders like dudes.
Yeah, but the rear ends are just like, they're woodies, dude. White girl with a booty, man.
Yeah. You
it's
remember
a beautiful thing, man.
Who was the one American Olympian from the last Summer Olympics that was all over the internet because she had a bulge in her pants?
Oh, Lord.
You
really?
remember? You don't remember
no.
this? They were like,
I don't know what video we were watching, man.
No, they would.
It was true. A bulge in her pants in the front of her pants.
Yeah, like she was doing like a jumping pirouette or something, and they snapped a photo while she was in midair, and it looked like she had a little extra package going on there.
Oh, that's gross, man.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's why
like
the internet.
Caitlyn package.
Yeah, that's why the internet freaked out about it. They're like,
wow.
Hey, wait, maybe she's not a she.
Maybe it's a he.
Maybe I don't know. And how does the Olympics treat that? If it's
well, all this gender accepting, which is fine, and that's you're right. I guess they don't, right? I mean, whatever bathroom you go into at Target, I guess that you're fine there, right?
Yeah, but see, when it comes to competitive sports, man, we've had this discussion before. Women and men aren't built the same.
No, they're not.
So when a man crosses over to a woman's events, he's simply going to dominate because of structure and strength. And
we've had mixed martial artists, male to females that want to compete against women.
Yeah, and there's a dude that's already been arrested for assaulting 2 women in the UFC.
Right, because it's a man fighting women.
Yeah, and he put them both in the hospital.
That's not right. Unless it's like WWE scripted, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, that's kind of bogus.
It is.
So you can look forward to the Olympics going on all damn week long.
We have the men's USA team. We actually have some professional boxers, which are going to be allowed to participate as Olympic athletes. I don't know why they want to forego millions and millions of dollars to get a medal.
Here's a medal breakdown for the United States. Gold, 1 gold medal in shooting.
Hey, Americans know how to shoot, man, but we know that. That's painfully obvious.
They all must be Chicagoans.
He said it, not you.
3 silver medals in swimming and 1 silver medal in archery.
Archery. So we know how to shoot things and aim at things, huh?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying, Tim? Is that what we come down to?
I believe that is it.
All right. And swimming.
Using projectile weapons. That's what America's good
and
for.
we know how to swim and get away from the problems, too, I guess, right?
Yeah. So there's that. I don't know about who's playing on Sunday.
Oh, we have the Hall of Fame game tomorrow.
What's that?
The Canton Hall of Fame game. We inducted an emotional Brett Favre.
Oh, yeah,
They
that's
also
right.
inducted Tony Dungy, Super Bowl winning coach with the Indianapolis Colts. And at one time was Peyton Manning's favorite target in Indianapolis, Marvin Harrison, great number 88.
Man, hands of steel. That guy could catch anything.
Manos de Piedra? Oh, no, that's Hands of Stone. Never mind. That's Roberto Duran. Yes, he was a great wide receiver, man. I mean, come on, man. Manning to Harrison, man, was every Sunday you can count on that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What a team that was.
100 times a season.
Absolutely.
Every season.
Yeah, and he was like I said, one made the other, right? You couldn't have Montana without Rice without Montana, right?
Yeah.
So, good for those 3 Hall of Famers, and it's going to be, it is the Packers, correct, sir? It's going to be the Packers and is it the Colts tomorrow? Is that who's going in? Because of Favre and the Dungy Harrison connection? Is that right?
Isn't it going to be played in like Europe somewhere too?
No, it's in Ohio, man, where the Canton Hall of Fame is. Okay. Not Europe. You're jumping ahead, man. They don't have to do those 2 bogus European games. Actually, I'm sorry. Can you look that up, sir? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Hall of Fame game.
Hall of Fame game, sir.
2016 Pro Hall of Fame takeaways. Brett Favre wings it, crushes it one last time.
And he did get emotional during his speech.
Of course he did.
He's
upset that he can't do nothing but, work on his farm now.
Right. He's probably teasing, and he's like, hey, Green Bay, if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, I can come back in one more drive here for you guys.
Hall of Fame game, Packers
and Colts. Yes, sir. So, you know that, Tim, that tomorrow is the first Sunday with football, and it will be the first of many Sundays with football up until February. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Up until it's going to be the Pro Bowl game, which nobody watches?
Yeah, they do that.
Right.
They do that a week before the Super Bowl, though, right?
I thought it was after. No, that's right. You're right. I'm sorry. It is a week before the Super Bowl. They should do it a week after.
It used to be after the Super Bowl.
You're right.
Because then all these guys would go all out and lay it all out there, but now
I still don't think they lay it out. It's like the NBA with defense. It's like the MLB with pitching. They're not going to play defense, man. They're not going to want to hurt anybody.
So,
plus, the fans want to see, come on, just, the long ball, man. Chicks dig the long ball, man.
Yeah.
They want to see them air out the ball, man.
So this game is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Sunday.
In Canton, Ohio. Yes, sir.
In Canton, Ohio.
It is every year.
So make sure you check your local listings for that.
I'll be watching, man. I love me some football. So do you.
Oh,
I'll be watching it too, man.
Yeah, I'm going to be all over the fantasy football this year. So,
are you now? You got a team name yet or no?
I use the same team name every year.
What is that?
The Fantasy Veterans.
The Fantasy Veterans.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought something a little more vulgar or risque in there, knowing you, Tim, but I guess not.
Well, when I played with the G-Dubs League, I was big old TDs.
Big old TDs? I like that. See, that's more your style right there, brother.
Yeah.
That's more your style right there. What was I when I was with the Grand Victoria Casino? We're the wise guys.
The wise
guys.
Yeah, you had to be like casino.
Right. We're the wise. Exactly. We had that little mob connection, the wise guys. So I did a name for. I was in the GameWorks Fantasy Football League once. I can't think of my name, though. I didn't win, so I guess it really doesn't matter.
So the Cubbies played today. They shut out the Oakland Athletics.
4-0.
4-0. Arrieta goes 8 innings unscathed. Gives up 4 hits. They also took both games from Oakland Friday and Saturday, beating them in grand fashion. I got a little highlight from today's game. They were wearing the throwback unis.
Yeah, 81, man. The 81 unis.
Central Cubs in action against the Athletics in Oakland. Check it out. Cubs winless in Jake Arrieta's last 5 starts, but Arrieta dominating the reigning NL Cy Young Award winner.
Ugly-ass uniforms.
They are pretty ugly.
Chris Davis.
I like the blue. I just don't like the
heat. And then Crisp again. This time the
double
weak grounder
play.
turns into the double play. 4th inning, Max Muncy can't hold up as Arrieta in cruise control against the A's lineup. 6th inning then. Cubs a 3-0 advantage. Jorge Soler.
Oh, yeah, Soler made a big impact in his first game back.
That would plate Addison Russell. Cubs would extend their lead to 4-0. Back to Arrieta. Now he's got the lead, 4-0, 8th inning. Crisp again, having no success against the right-hander. Ends up with the pop-out to left center. Arrieta, 8 solid innings. Cubs get the shutout, 4-0.
And the Beard
that
gets
boy good.
Another win.
Yeah, he does. Talk about a good comeback, man. I mean, remember we talked about his woes.
Talked
about their woes right before that. Remember that the All-Star break?
Yeah.
And like a little nice monster comeback. I mean, they're. I mean, and
he was tired, dude. He needed a rest.
I think so. And now you got the closer, man, the best closer for us is Mariano Rivera. Aroldis Chapman.
So the Cubs will take on Oakland in Game 3 tomorrow at 3:05 p.m. Central Time, and then go on to Anaheim after that. And on the other side of town today, the Sox did play the Orioles, and were unexpected losers in the contest.
4-2 they lost.
We've got some highlights. We'll go.
Can we call them highlights?
Tough luck. There were a couple
low lights.
There you go.
The end. But more importantly, how about Paul?
Damn.
Ripped. That's a line drive.
That's Tyler, boy.
Left field.
That's Tyler. He can crank them. He's one of the few gems there that.
Tyler Saladino.
Yes, sir.
He must be Italian, eh?
Hey, forget about it.
Forget about it, eh? So the White Sox will play Baltimore again on Sunday at 1:10 p.m. Central Time. Other than that, Mike Ditka, new Hall of Fame member, Dick Stanton was special as a coach. Apparently, he had some kind words to say. Wade credits wife for support keeping him in check. The Chicago Bulls' newest member, D. Wade. And from the Hawks camp, biggest summer question for the Blackhawks is... What is it?
What's that?
It doesn't say. It just says biggest summer questions for the
Blackhawks. Let's get back to D. Wade. He says the wife keeps him in check. When you're married to a fine Hollywood actress like Gabrielle Union, yeah, I'll be kept in check too with that, homie.
Man, I'd never leave the house.
I know, he probably doesn't, man. Except when he's got to pay the old ball and chain, the ex there. So
yeah, I'm surprised he can find some time to put his pants on and leave the house. Lucky dude.
I'm telling him, man.
All right, so be on the lookout for the NFL pre-games.
Absolutely.
Preseason games starting tomorrow.
Dun, 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 dun. It's that season. It's the best thing, man. I mean, even though whatever happens to the Sox, which is not going to be much, it looks like. Whatever happens with the Cubs, if they're still playing late into October, which everybody's expecting, at least we'll have football to fall back on, man. Then hockey, and then the Bulls, and we'll be all set, Timmer. What do you say? What do you think?
Oh, man, I can't wait.
I'm telling you, man. It's still nice. That's my favorite part about now is that we're getting to see the youngins come in, the rookies make an impact, some of these veteran signings, and to kind of see these people come back from injury and whatnot, and hopefully be able to right the ship. We'll see what Cutler can do.
The Bears, I don't know if they look any better than 500 yet, but they are talking about them.
Wild card?
Yeah.
9-7, right? That's what we've been averaging the last few years, right? It's been 9-7, right? That's our prediction.
Yeah.
10-6, 9-7. I mean, which is pretty, respectable. They're still not going to beat the Packers in a division.
No.
That's not going to happen.
I really wish the Bears would pick up the defense like they used to have 10 years ago, man. Like, they were unstoppable, giving up
Mike
13
Brown,
points a
Brian
game.
Urlacher, Lance Briggs.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And who was Hunter Hillenmeyer was the other linebacker.
Yeah.
And then they had, what was it, Tommy Harris.
Tommy Harris.
That's right, on one end. And who was the other? Help me out here.
What was the other defensive end? He was
Tommy Harris, and I know this. Come on,
He
man.
came from another Big Cat.
The Big Cat was offense.
Was he?
You're talking about Alex Brown, baby.
Alex Brown.
From Florida. I got a chance to meet Alex Brown.
Did you?
At Sunset Ridge Country Club in Northfield when I was working out there as a bartender. He crashed a wedding.
Nice.
And we shut down the bar at midnight. And he comes up to me. I'm like, Alex Brown, I know who you are, dude. And then he's like, hey, man, let me get some drinks for these girls that I'm with here. I'm like, of course these girls were all over him. And I'm just like, I can't get them a drink, but I'll get you a drink.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, he's like, come on, man, I can't leave him behind. So I got him and his, female companion some drinks. I'm like, you got to come back here and take a picture with me. So I have this picture floating around somewhere. Took it on my flip phone of all things, man. And he was nice enough to come put my arm around him. And what a guy, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, love me some AB, man.
Every Bears, like, former and current players that I've run into, like, in public, they've all been cool, man.
Is that right?
Yeah, like, you were there when Forte came to GameWorks, right?
Forte was at GameWorks. Lance Briggs.
He was there
right.
with the tight end.
Greg Olsen, right. That's now a member of the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. They
doing well with the Carolina Panthers, as a matter of fact.
Dude, they tore down the virtual bowling screen.
They did?
Yeah.
What, they threw the balls too hard?
Yeah, one of the girls they were with threw it and hit the screen and knocked it down. And
really? Was she hot?
Oh, yeah.
I bet
both
she was.
of them.
Yeah, I bet she was. Yeah, Forte, he's not with the team anymore. They're going to miss him, too, speaking of which.
And
he was a handsome dude, man.
I came out there. I didn't know they were in the building at all, man.
Yeah.
And apparently nobody else in the building knew who they were.
Right.
Because they were just kind of doing their own thing by themselves.
Left alone, casual, their day off. This isn't like an official appearance or nothing.
That's the best part of being a football player is because a lot of people don't recognize you without your uniform.
Right, or the helmet on, yeah. Right.
So I came out and I was like, man, I started smiling the second I seen them both. I was like,
what's up, y'all?
I know
what's the both of you. I know you guys, man. Lance Briggs comes up to, he's having dinner, and I was working in the food and beverage part. I was there that night. And he comes out, and I'm like, is that him? It's got to be him. And I stop him.
You showed me the ticket he signed.
Right, that's right, I did. And I told him, and I said, sir, anybody tell you look just like Lance Briggs? He's like, you know what he told me, man, with a straight face? I get that all the time. So sure enough, it's his, it was another server that waited on them, and then he comes back. I'm like, yeah, he signed. It's the wife signed it, Mrs. Briggs, and I'm like, that son of a b.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, come on, dude. I would have shook his hand, man.
But he knows.
He's a big one too, man. He's built like a brick house, man.
Yeah,
he's a big one. His brother's even bigger than he is, man.
Just playing the modest role.
Yeah, he was a cool dude, man. Lance Briggs, man. I mean,
except for that Lamborghini thing,
and the fact that would he skip out on practice in the opening game because he wanted to open up his
barbecue joint,
double nickel, baby.
Yeah,
5-5. Got some barbecue joints. I'm a businessman.
He's got to look out for his interest after the game.
After the game, of course he does, man. But yeah, talk about it's like I said, we've had been blessed with some great players in Chicago, man.
Most
we really have, absolutely, man. Speaking of Matt Forte, man, I mean the fact that they fell into him as a running back after they had the whole fiasco with Cedric Benson and being such a
And then he goes to Cincinnati and tears it up for like 3 seasons.
Right. Well, remember that boat incident, man? He getting pepper sprayed and whatnot, and just being a hoodlum and just something else, man.
Well,
being a crazy character that he was.
You can't be an athlete unless you're part hoodlum these days.
I guess not. Just ask Michael Vick, right?
Yeah.
Just ask Anthony.
He came up in the news recently talking about he could still outrun Cam Newton.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, like BS, dude. Cam Newton runs circles around you.
Michael Vick said that.
Michael Vick said that he
must be drinking that scissor, man. He cannot do that. I do not believe that for a minute.
No.
Cam Newton's a special breed right there, man.
Vick's got like 15 years on him too.
Right.
And he's I believe he's a free agent still.
Of course he's going to stay that way, man. It's what happens when you mess with the beautiful souls that are dogs, man, and do horrific, unmentionable things to them, man.
Unmentionable.
I'm a dog lover, man. I don't care for that dude.
All right, Jay. Well, it has been a fantastic morning.
It has been a fantastic, good show, man. I'm glad I came on. I'm glad I made it here a little bit late again, but I'm here with you, brother.
It wasn't that late at all, Jay.
I know.
I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you, sir.
Look forward to having you back, sir.
Yes, sir. Always, man. Next week, same time, same bad channel.
That's right.
All right.
So this is it for the LOERadio radio show here on fabulous WNUR-FM, Evanston and Chicago. If you'd like to hear more, you could do so by checking us out on Twitter using the hashtag LOERadio. You can also find clips of previous episodes and other segments we have recorded from WNUR on YouTube, also using the hashtag LOERadio. And you can also reach out to us on the Facebook by finding the LOERadio Show Facebook fan page. I have been Timur Radicek, and I thank you for joining us this morning, and we should be back at the same time next week, as Jay mentioned. If not, I'm sure WNUR will have something fantastic to provide you with listening enjoyment. So, to take us out, I'm going to play something here. I had something queued up until I searched for something else. So what I'm going to do is play you out with a little bit of Metallica, because that's my jam.
That's your jam.
That's my jam. It's Fade to Black on WNUR. Stay tuned, because there's more great programming here on the Freeform section.